I don't know if y'all can see or hear me. Okay, let me see. Can y'all see and hear me? Trying to look on my other screen. Am I live yet? Today I got time, cuz. I don't have my audio, y'all. I'm using StreamYard. Can y'all hear me and see me? Put a teacup if y'all can hear me and see me. Because I'm not in my usual location. Okay, looks like I see myself live on the other page. Okay, hey y'all. Hey you guys. Okay, great. Oh my gosh, it was forever trying to set this up because it's so hard when you're not in your usual locations. I have to set up my microphone, the earbuds. So I hope there's no echoing. I'm using StreamYard because I don't have OBS on this laptop. I haven't used this laptop in a minute. But I'm so glad to see y'all here. Today has been, oh my God, I'm exhausted. I've literally been up since like 5 o'clock this morning. So I am so tired. It's been a long day. And I know everybody's shot to see me in NYC. I had to get away, child. I'm like, oh, I need to. I know I just got back from the Bahamas. I'm like, I need another vacation. So Dennis had been asking me for weeks since the Diddy's trial started to come out to the Diddy trial. He's like, as much as you've talked about Diddy and stuff like that, but I had to get ready for my vacation on the cruise and everything. So I want to focus on that. But now that that's done, I was like, okay, let me pop up in NYC. I have a lot of friends out here. I have family. I'm going to go. I'm probably just going to do a whole little East Coast tour. I'm going to go from NYC to Philly and wherever else, child. I'm free. Okay, so I just wanted to sightsee, meet up with some folks and everything else. So today it was very interesting. Court, I've never been in like no type of criminal court and stuff like that. Very interesting how they did it. This Everybody was really nice. Like I met a lot of really cool bloggers and other YouTubers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all I ran across Tisa and she was so nice. Our mom was there, so it was good to see him again. So and there was like some new YouTubers that I didn't know that I got a chance to meet. Queen Amadella. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but she was really sweet. So just shout out to, I think the other one was Miss Sylvia. I'm trying to remember everybody's name because I met so many people. And I'm very quiet. You would not know that I'm there unless like you spot me. I just be trying to blend in. So it was crazy, like just being recognized and people just just thanking me, just giving me my flowers. So I really appreciate that because y'all know I've been in the game for years, honey. So somebody said Tisa called you the GOAT. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, she's very sweet. It was very nice to meet her. She's very high strung. She's like, oh my God, let me. She is very high, high energy. You know what I mean? And I'm more like reserved. I'll turn up when ready, but she is very high strung. So I loved her energy. So yeah, she's definitely like a very bouncy, happy person. So it was nice to meet her and a lot of other people there too. And there's another I think Donut, if I'm saying his name right, he was really sweet too. So it was so many people there that I got a chance to meet today, and everybody was just really nice. And oh my gosh, it was a lot though. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot to listen to that testimony. And y'all know sometimes I can be a sleepy bitch. Damn, she's still talking. Oh, he stuck a finger up her ass. Oh shit, let me wake up. I'm like, damn, okay, all right, we get it. He done had trains ran on you from here to Japan. Okay, ma'am. I need some more stuff. Like, I was just like, after a while, it's like, damn, how much sex can one person have in a 2-year span? Shit, damn. Every orifice, bitch? Damn, okay. It was a lot. I took notes, honey. I got notes upon notes upon notes, sticky notes. I was taking my little notes, but let me see some highlights here. I mean, she did this for 2.5 years. She went through a lot. She's very upset. You could tell she's very hurt. And I think, like I told y'all, when Cassie decided to tell the world her story, I told you guys that was going to be the catalyst. That was what was going to get everything popping, and it was going to bring everybody out the woodwork. Because she felt like when Cassie told her story, that's what really woke her up. Like, damn, So Cassie was going through this. So this is this man's MO, because he was always trying to gaslight her and trying to make it look like, well, you want this. You know, you're the one calling the guys. You're the one picking out the escorts. And it's like, yeah, I might be picking them out, but I'm not doing this on my own volition. I'm doing this to keep you. I'm doing this because this is also what you want. But I don't know. I just feel like it is not that serious. I mean, my thing, it's one thing to hoe and you're getting your own money. You know, again, I'm not here to knock sex workers. You know what I mean? But at least you're getting your own money. You're, going through back pages. I don't even know if back pages is still around, child. But when we was younger, it was back pages and Craigslist, okay? At least you're doing your own thing. How are you doing all of this? And it's like, the man can still at any time just stop paying your bills, stop paying your mortgage, your rent, and then you're out on the street. Like, I don't know. I just know as a woman, I would want a backup plan. I wouldn't want to depend on a man for something. And especially if it comes to that man pimping me out. Because that's what he was doing. And I think that's why she's very upset and she has a lot of regret. Because, looking back on it, it wasn't worth it. That wasn't love. Like I said earlier in my earlier stream, if he loved you, a man who loves you and wants to be with you is not going to share you with a bunch of strangers. And she even said one time when they were arguing and getting into it, she was like, you only want me for these sexual exploits. You only want me, to do these, they called them, what was it, sobriety? I forgot the name, I wrote it down. Something sobriety. Her thing wasn't freak offs. It was like sobriety Sundays or something like that. It was just weird that they gave it that name. But that's basically all he wanted her for. And then he would gaslight her and be like, well, you want it too. Or, well, if you're mad, then that's on you. Then don't do it anymore. But then he knew that if she didn't do it, he wasn't going to pay her mortgage. And she'd be out on the street. And my thing is, you already have, you know what I'm saying, connections to another big celebrity. Because I'm not going to say the person's name. How bad is it that you can't just go to that other celebrity? How bad is it that you already have a foot in the industry and you can't just do legitimate work? So again, like I always say, everything that glitters is not gold. It was so much in that testimony. It was a lot of her, crying. You can tell she's very embarrassed recalling all of this. Her spirit was broken. When you're going through stuff like that, and you're just sleeping with men for the pleasure of another man, and everything is being filmed, there's nothing more degrading than that. And then knowing that, she has to relive that. Because even the fact that nobody knew what she was up to, right? Nobody knew that she was, a sex worker, whatever. The fact that she has to relive that. And it wasn't something that she necessarily enjoyed. It was just to keep a man happy. It's really sad. It's really sad. So, again, yeah, she's very embarrassed. You can tell, especially her big age. And then that was the thing that she kept saying in her testimony. You can tell she was very bothered by the way that Carisha was treated versus how she was treated. Because she felt like, she's the exotical one, very pretty lady. But she felt like she'd been there longer. She'd put in work. And I think that's what a lot of these women felt. They felt like if they were his, because he kept reiterating to her, I'm single. I can do what I want. I can date multiple women. We're not in a committed relationship. He kept reiterating that to her. And I think she thought that if she did anything that he wanted, if she basically allowed him to use her in any type of way and be compensated for that, he would see like her loyalty, he would see her worth, and then eventually, put her up on game or put her up in the industry. I think that's what she really wanted. She wanted to be, the main girl, the one publicly tied to Diddy. Maybe she wanted her own, anonymous girl podcast, So and I also feel like that kind of bothered Cassie as well. I know y'all may not be ready for that conversation, but I kind of feel like the way he was treating Young Miami publicly definitely bothered Cassie and this other woman and Gina Hunn, the other Asian girl. Because it's like with Cassie, yeah, she had her hot single, but he promised to, drop her albums and do all this stuff for her in the music industry, and none of that panned out. I don't know what all he promised Gina, but nothing panned out for her. At least Carisha, she was able to be signed to Revolt TV. She had her own podcast. She definitely got more visibility and more status. She definitely leveled up messing with Diddy. And I think, he saw loyalty in her. I don't for a second doubt that Carisha is doing every single thing that all of these women are doing. I don't for a second think that just because he was flossing Carisha publicly and gave her a podcast, that she wasn't out here busting it wide open and having sex with 4 men at the same damn time and going through the damn, the Las Vegas male escort 1-800 numbers. Carisha is no different than these women. Diddy is not going to keep you around unless you're a freak and you're willing to bust it wide open whenever he wants it. I mean, my thing is, I don't know what type of drugs this man was on. I'm like, damn, this motherfucking dick's always hard. He'll just text her, my dick's hard. I need a freak off or whatever. I need a sobriety, whatever they called it. And I'm just like, as old as this man is, like, what type of Viagra is he on? They were literally doing this like the entire weekend. Almost every weekend for like the first year or two. That is insane. Like, how do you just wake up and just text, I'm hard, find some escorts? What? I said, what in the super duper Viagra's going on here? Usually when men get that, they start losing, you know what I mean? They're not as perky. They're not as jerky perky, you know what I'm saying? But his damn pee knew no bounds. He wanted it all the time. I said, what the hell's wrong with this man? He just roll over, just, out of getting high and everything else and just, I want to freak off. You need to call such and such. So it was a mess. Oh, yeah. Miss Keita G says, don't forget Carisha told us that she loved golden showers. Exactly. So if y'all are thinking that, Carisha was treated differently, absolutely not. She got down. She was just, the thing with Carisha is she's about the money. So she's willing to sell her soul. She's willing to be on demon time. She don't care. Carisha don't got no damn morals. She don't give a damn. She was already bragging about forcing Diddy. About Diddy forcing Gina to eat her coochie. So that lets you know where Carisha stands in the grand thing of things. She does not care. She's willing to do whatever for fame. Again, Carisha can't rap. She didn't write any of the raps with JT. She has no real talent. So the only talent she has is busting it wide open. So as long as she's taken care of and she's able to live in that celebrity world, she doesn't care. And Diddy knew that. So he was willing to elevate her. But I think a lot of these women that were doing this, maybe initially they thought, okay, we're just going to do some freaky stuff. But see, again, once the toothpaste is out the tube, you can't put it back in. You just can't. And that's why I've always spoken out about these celebrities trying to normalize threesomes. Remember, this was 4 or 5 years ago. It seemed like every celebrity, Tiny and T.I., their tea was being spilled. T.I. likes to put his foot in bitches' coochies. Like a whole size 9 in the cooch. Where they do that at? Okay? Remember, everybody kept talking about threesomes. Tiana Taylor, the threesome, the hobo threesome tour. And I was saying, they're doing this. They're trying to plant seeds. So that way, if you end up in those spaces, you're not going to think twice. You're going to think it's normal. So a lot of women go into this thinking, I'm just going to please my man this one time. It's his fantasy. I want to be his main chick. I want to keep my man. So, okay, we're going to do a threesome. Me, you, and another girl. Okay, cool. Then it goes from that to having a foot in your coochie. And then it goes from that to you getting banged out by 4 men with, 10-inch peens. What in the world? How did we get here? So again, when you open up Pandora's box, you can't cry when the devil comes home to collect. So I think, yes, a size 9 in the cooch. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? When did we ever when did we become a society that normalized putting a foot in the coochie? Like, when did that become the thing? So I feel like a lot of this stuff was, being put out there to condition young girls to think like it's no big deal. Just like Carisha, nobody at all. I like being peed on. Bitch, what? What? Who just comes onto a national podcast and brags about golden showers? Again, they're trying to normalize, deviancy. So that way when, the average fry cook comes up to, little Shamika, who just turned 18, and he's like, hey, I like golden showers too. I want to piss on you. She's not going to think it's a big deal because her favorite city girl, Miss Hot Girl, City Girl Summer, likes getting peed on. So a lot of this is just normalizing stuff. So now when, the regular Joe Schmo who's wearing a size 12 Nike shoe comes up to you and is like, hey, I'd like to put this 12-inch, foot up your coochie. You're not going to think twice because, hey, it's been normalized via T.I. via T.I. and Tiny. So I'm just saying, y'all got to understand a lot of this stuff is being put out there and being normalized to basically bring a lot of young people's defenses down. That's not normal. It's not. Your feet belong on the ground, not in my cooch. Okay? There's nothing normal about that. You can suck my toes. Ain't nothing wrong with sucking toes, okay? But you're not putting your size 12s up my coochie. We're not doing that. I don't even know why that's a thing. Okay? Somebody said a size 15. The devil is a lie. So, again, I felt like, she initially agreed to something thinking, okay, I'm going to be freaky for my man. And it spiraled out of control. And then she realized that she was being used. But again, ladies, regret doesn't necessarily equate rape. It doesn't necessarily equate anything. You can regret it and that's on you, but that's why you have to know who you are. And I get it. People get groomed. Cassie was really young when she got with Diddy. Now this woman is grown, but you can get groomed into certain situations. But then I also have to ask myself, is it necessarily grooming or is it that motherfucking bag? Is it that lifestyle? We have to have an honest conversation, even with Cassie. Yes, she was young, but let's not act like the lifestyle didn't play a part. Because again, would you let the average, Joe Blow, would you let Rasheem, okay? Would you allow Rasheem Smith, who worked at J.C. Penney's, to put a 12-inch, a 12-inch shoe up your cooch? No. Would you allow, Radamez, Jones to be like, hey, I want you to, screw 4 of my homeboys. And he ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of? No. So yes, grooming does play a part of it. But again, a lot of these women are enamored by celebrity, by fame, and by that bank account. Because I know good and damn well that anonymous lady on the stand would not have let the average Bojangles fry cook fry up that coochie, okay? She would not have allowed it. But because it was Diddy and it was that proximity to fame, she threw a lot of common sense out the window. And that's why I always tell you guys, do not be enamored by that. Do not move, just because of who somebody is, what their status is. What are your morals? What are you willing to do and not do? And if you're not willing to do that, it's okay to say no. Because I'm telling you, having your soul, having your heart, having your integrity, that goes a long way. Because that woman is haunted. That is a broken woman on the stand. And I feel bad for her. I do. I feel bad for her. But can I say that she's 100% a victim? I don't know. Because again, she's grown. And at what point do you say, it's not worth it anymore? Like, I signed up to do a threesome with you and a girl. Now I'm literally fucking 4 different men every weekend for a year. Constantly getting, UTIs. And who knows what type of, possible STDs. But she said she got a lot of urinary tract infections. I'm not surprised. If you're sitting here smashing, 10-inch peen from 4 different men for hours, they said these damn freak-offs would last hours. And then once the guys would ejaculate on her, he would come and rub it on himself. Just a bunch of weird, deviant sex magic. So it's like, at what point does the alarm bells ring and say, this is not normal, this is not okay, this is not sitting well with my spirit? And it seemed like she didn't get that alarm bell or that awakening, in my opinion, until the Cassie lawsuit. because she said, she had only met Cassie, I think she said one time in passing. And it seemed like once the lawsuit that Cassie put out there, that's what kind of woke her up. Like, he's just using me. And it's like, it took the lawsuit? Because I'm thinking these text messages are going to be from like 2015. I mean, she was messing with him up until the damn lawsuit in 2023. And then, like I found out earlier, he's still paying her rent. To this day, he's still paying her rent or her mortgage or whatever. So, it's insane. It is insane. Yeah, he's a deviant. I'll never say that, he's definitely a sexual deviant. But again, I'm trying to see what else. Okay, we got that. We've been peeped. He's a nasty freak. He's a bisexual demon. I've been saying that for a while now. We've been peeped that. But again, we need more. At what point? I mean, there's some stuff that's coming out about, the RICO and stuff. But like, where's the rest of the criminal charges? Like the drugs that were being sold and supposedly being flown by the drug mule, and the shootings that took place. Like, where's all that stuff? Because for now, we just been mainly hearing about like the freaky stuff from Diddy, and it's nothing new. Yeah, he's definitely a pimp, but I think for him, he gets off. He kind of reminds me like he's into voyeurism. He's very much into that, but he's very sadistic in the way he moves, in the way he gaslights. Very narcissistic. And like I said, a lot of people, one thing I will say in her defense, because a lot of people are quick to say, these women only started coming out now that, Cassie came out, or they only want to stop this now. She was saying it before the Cassie situation. She was begging him in those text messages and saying, I don't want to do this anymore. My soul is broken. My spirit is broken. I'm tired of this. I'm doing all this freaky stuff for you, but you're bragging on Revolt TV on a podcast about having sex for 48 hours straight on a yacht. Well, I'm not on that yacht. You're not sleeping with me, but this girl's getting trips on yachts. And then he would gaslight her and be like, you know what? I'm sorry. Okay, fine. I'm going to come get you this week. I'm going to fly you out. I'm going to take you shopping. And then the whole weekend is ours. Then me and you will be on a yacht. So then she'd be like, okay, good. Then he'll fly her out. He would have his assistants just go buy her some shit. Wouldn't even take her shopping. So they might bring her 2 outfits and some red bottoms. And then they'll be right back at the Trump Hotel, high as a kite, because they both were doing drugs. And then she's calling 1-800-BIG-BLACK-DICKS. Hi, I'd like to order 4 big black dicks, please. Thank you. And she would never get her yacht vacation. So he would like play in her face. He would brag about stuff on the podcast with Carisha. And then she would get jealous. She'd get upset. And he'd be like, okay, I got you. I'm so sorry. Fly her out, and it'd be the same cycle. And she'd call him out like, I thought we were going to spend the weekend together. You didn't take me on the yacht. How dare you like bring me back out there just for me to get fucked again by 4 black dicks? So he was always just like gaslighting her and playing with her. And it's just like, baby girl, at what point in time are you going to wake up and say enough is enough? Is it that bad to work? Like, I guess I'm just confused. Like, I mean, she's famous, but she ain't like, let's not act like she's a A-lister. There was a lady in the courthouse who didn't even know who the hell this lady was. Like, I ain't never seen her a day in my life. So it's just like, ma'am, you can go back into society. Nobody's going to clown you. Like, I understand like how, some celebrities feel like, oh, I'm too big to go get a 9 to 5. I can't let anybody see me working a regular job. That'd be embarrassing. Whatever, I guess. But you know how some celebrities have that mentality? She's not that famous where people are going to be clocking her tea like that. Nobody's going to like pull up on her at a customer service spot and be like, oh, I can't believe she's working that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. I would rather just go back to working a customer service job, just doing something, working in the fashion industry, pulling clothes, than just being ran through every weekend. Like, that is insane. I can't say who it is. You're not supposed to. I was out there at the courthouse. I can't say who it is, so I'm never going to mention her name. So, but yeah, it's just really disturbing. Thank you, Angel. She's not famous at all. You're literally famous for one or two things outside of this case. So it's like she could have just worked a regular job and been okay. So that's why I say I feel like a lot of this is people who really wanted proximity to fame and money. And Diddy, hate it or love it, he's a power player. And a power bottom. No, sorry. But he's a power player. You know what I'm saying? He's a big deal, especially in the entertainment field. And, sorry, but people see that and they throw all common sense out the window. And I think that's the sad part. That's the sad part. He had no love for any of these women. To me, they were just disposable objects. Just women that he could just smash and disregard and on to the next. And she wasn't the only one. And she knew that. And he would tell her that time and time again. I'm single. I can do me. But they better not be messing with anybody else. That's what's so crazy about it. That's that narcissism. Rules for me. No, rules for thee, but no rules for me. Cassie couldn't date other people. He tried to damn near allegedly kill Kid Cudi. She couldn't, date other people. They could only sleep with the people that he deemed okay to sleep with on camera. So, at that point, you got to wake up and understand the games that are being played. So it's sad. It's sad. But she's grown. She's definitely grown. Let me read some of these super chats here. How many people we got in the house? All right, we got over 5,000 people in the building. That's what's up. Let me see here. Psychosis. Hopefully I said it right. Set 999 says, thank you for speaking on the gaming community, T. Let me spread this out. A lot overlook us, but the truth is our prices have been going up and the quality has been going down, just like groceries. No problem. I'm glad the gamers really like that video that I did on the gaming industry, the Contra Days. So thank you guys for sending me that topic. I enjoyed talking about that. So I'm glad that woke a lot of people up. I heard that they pushed GTA back again, GTA 6. I heard that they pushed it back again, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the latest thing I saw trending, unless it was fake news. But thank you so much. MG sent $2, says, would you ever live in the Bahamas? I don't know. I think it was beautiful. I don't know if I would ever live there. I didn't see enough of it to really see how people are living, like the regular everyday people. I was mainly in the touristy areas, so maybe when I go back, I want to see more of how, the everyday Bahamian lives. But it's a beautiful area, lots of beautiful people. I definitely had a good time. So I can't wait to go back. Let's see here. Christian Lamar says, I've been rocking with you since that video you made about Rebecca Black. Love you and wishing you good health, wealth, and happiness. Thank you so much. I forgot all about Rebecca Black. It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody, y'all remember that damn song by Rebecca Black? Girl, you done unlocked the core memory. I forgot all about that. Let's see here. Eyes to the Soul sent $100. Thank you so much, Eyes to the Soul. I really appreciate you, love. Thank you. JTV sent $4.99, says, we got to get some security out here, though, T. We need you protected at all costs. Thank you so much. I got God by my side, honey, but I appreciate it. Nene sent $5, says, are you going to be there tomorrow for the Diddy team to question Jane Doe? I might be. I'm still debating. But thank you for the super chat. Say Carrie sent $5, says, hey, T, I'm glad you have free time. Enjoy the East Coast. I hope you have an event in Charlotte one day. Yes, for sure. I haven't been in Charlotte in about 4 or 5 years, so I can't wait to come back down there. Let's see here. Christine Does Drama says, why didn't Jane Doe speak behind a screen? It's crazy how everyone knows who she is. Love you and thanks for reporting. You're so welcome. I don't know why. I thought they were going to put like a white sheet or something. That's what I expected when I got there because I didn't know who the hell Jane Doe was. So I thought she was going to be like behind a blanket. Like, I thought I was going to walk into the courtroom and she's going to be like this. Diddy had me fucking a bunch of people. He had me calling 1-800 Big Black Dicks. With her voice morphed and shit. 1-800 Big Black Dicks. That's what I thought I was coming into, child. They said, no, bitch. They showed everything. But, you know, good luck to her, child. They had all her business out there. Let me see here. Melanin Queen sent $9.99. Says, Carisha acts like Diddy gave her what she got because he got a good heart. Please. We know she went out there, wig bent, athlete's foot in her coochie. She's no different than anyone else. Sad. I definitely agree. That is how he gets down with all of his women, including Kim Porter. Okay, he had the mother of his children doing wild threesomes and everything. So you're not going to tell me that Carisha is the exception. I refuse to believe that. So thank you for the super chat. Let's see here. Hanging with Garden of Mobius sent $20. Says, let me see here. Sheree Haynes, the male sex worker with Cassie, did a Fed TV interview. He was on VH1 in 2009. His first show got canceled. He showed himself as a weirdo on the second show. He's been a clout chaser. I haven't seen that interview, but thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Anderson, $4.99, says black people are staying out of the protests. It's time to rest. And honestly, I'm tired of us serving the front lines. Do they stand up for our issues? I see a lot of black people, you know, protest. You got to understand, though, LA is different. LA is black and brown. You know, there's a lot of black people standing in solidarity because immigration affects all races. You know, it's mainly the Hispanics being targeted, but, you know, it affects a lot of ethnicities. So you're going to get a lot of people out there. You know, you got whites, you know, Russians and French people who overstay their visas. You know, so it's affecting a lot of people, not just Latinos. That's why you see everybody coming out, you know, to support. But it's getting crazy out there in LA. I was just catching up on everything when I got back, and it's nuts right now in LA. That Virgo says, drinks on me while you're here, T. Thank you so much. I don't drink, though, but thank you. I appreciate it. I'll take a Shirley Temple or something like that. I'll take some food. Let me just keep it real. Shit. I'll eat. How about a plate on you? I appreciate that. Because I'll definitely eat something. Let's see here. So, yeah, it's a lot going on. So, I've been out here for 30 minutes. So, let's go ahead. That's really all I have as far as, like, the case. Like I said, it was very interesting to be in the courtroom. The thing that shocked me the most was, one, how Diddy looked. Like, his whole head is white, you know? And so he doesn't have access to, like, hair dye and, you know, what we're used to, probably what he's used to having access to. He has aged significantly. He's gained quite a bit of weight as well. It was very interesting to see his mom. You know, she's really small, like real small and petite. I didn't expect her to be that tiny. And then his boys were there, you know, Justin and, what is his name, Christian. So they were both there as well. But yeah, he definitely looked like a papa. Oh, he looked like a papa. Like, y'all remember how he looked during COVID when everybody was joking, talking about, oh, the adrenochrome done ran out on a lot of these celebrities? He looks 10 times worse. That sketch is not doing him any justice. He looked like, I did not expect him to look that old. His whole head is white as snow. Like, I could see salt and pepper, you know what I mean? Because, you know, we all age. Everybody's getting older. He's an older gentleman. But his whole head is white. White as snow. I really thought the sketch artist was just over-exaggerating or, yeah. He looks like a pawpaw for real. Yeah, he don't have access to none of that stuff. Let's see. Renee Jaguar says, "Hey T, I love your last live. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much." Sunny said, "I prefer the Jay-Z sketch. That Jay-Z sketch is too funny." So now I want to go ahead and so they're not just riding in LA. Even when I was walking around Manhattan, they're doing riots here too in New York, in NYC. Uh, I ran across a riot while I was out. Let me pull this up here. And Status Quo is also doing live streams as well. Oh, what did I do with my chat? I can't find my video. So let's see. We're going to watch Status Quo. Give me just a second. Okay. So this was in New York earlier today. So let's watch some of this. They were live out here.
Okay. Hey, it's Ashley Bishop with Status Quo. John Farina and I are on the ground live in front of the New York City courthouse where New York NYPD has already started making arrests of protesters who are attending an anti-ICE protest.
What's your name? Do you want to call someone?
Protests just started, and again, arrests are happening pretty quickly. So we'll be on the ground. It seems like it's going to be a long night here.
So NYPD is out here thick. There's different parts of Manhattan that people are protesting at, but it's not as wild as LA. Let me fast forward a little bit, see if they're doing any interviews. But this is all around.
Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Abolish ICE! Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! If it seems that this is small, there are people circulating around the complex. We are letting ICE. No, they cannot.
So while I was walking around New York, there's different parks in like Manhattan. So that's where a lot of the protests are taking on. And you got to understand, this is a big immigrant city, right? You know, New York was founded on immigrants. The Statue of Liberty is here. Give us you're tired, you're poor, and I don't know what else it said. But I'm sorry, I forgot the rest. But yes, they give us like you're hungry, you're tired, and you're poor. And so, you know, when you came from the old world, you had to come through Ellis Island. So they're protesting all over New York, like in different parks. So it's, you know, it's very serious because, again, this is affecting businesses, you know, people not coming to work, people getting arrested. So it's they were out there screaming some man's name, David. It was a Spanish guy. I guess he got detained. And so I don't know if it was his coworkers, but it was a big old group of people out there. I ran across the protest. Let me see if I can find it because I had sent it to my, oh, here it is. Okay. I sent it to my desktop. Let me play. This is the protest I ran across. I've just been walking around New York for like hours. I just like walking, you know. It's very different though walking around here, cause you know back home, I walk like around my neighborhood. There's grass, and here it's just like concrete and you know cement and skyscrapers and people everywhere. So I'm just enjoying like just people watching. So as I'm walking and stuff, let me show you guys the protests I happened to run across while I was walking around the courthouse. Okay, so this is the protest I ran across here. And it was for some man named David something. Okay, so that's just some. I recorded like a bit more, but I'm not gonna play it all. But so, like I said, from east to west coast, it's getting real, and people are tired. But yeah, it's definitely cracking out here in New York as well. But LA, don't nobody got shit on LA, child. LA ain't playing. So let me play some more of the New Yorkers. I'm trying to see if they end up interviewing any New Yorkers. Let me see.
Push them out the way!
There's happening at the other protest that's down the street from us.
Okay, so in New York they're pretty calm. Let's go to LA, child, because LA is like they don't give a fuck. LA, to live and die in LA. It's the place to be. You got to be there to know it. Cause everybody wanna. Okay, let me stop. Let me stop, child, for they take down my stream for singing and shit. Get me for copyright. So yeah, it's cracking in LA. LA don't give a fuck.
Pretty intense situation taking place right now in Paramount. Immigration enforcement operation. See, people are squaring off with members of U.S. Border Patrol. Looks like there was some sort of raid here at a business center right across the street from a Home Depot. We just heard a big flashbang go off. And right now, it looks like these people are face to face.
Damn.
So this is what's left of our work car. We had it parked near the scene. Obviously, we got here right at the beginning before we knew it was going to escalate to the situation that it got to. This is a brand new news truck that we just got. Looks like the tires were slashed. They busted into the windows. We'll see. Our personal bags were in the car. They stole all the stuff that was inside. There are some things here. Looks like they took cinder blocks through the window.
All right, child. Let me come back on the screen real quick.
President calling in.
It's getting real. Okay, I want to read some of these super chats. Give me just a second, child. I got all these damn windows up. Okay, hold on. Remove. Okay. So y'all are giving me some tea. So the guy whose name they were yelling. So thank you, Nihar. She sent $5. She said the guy whose name they were yelling. She said it's for David Haruta, the SEIU president that ICE picked up. Kind of a big deal. He's out now. Okay, so thank you. I didn't know. Like I said, I'm just walking the streets, just eating me a slice of pizza, looking around, and everybody was screaming, David. I'm like, well, who's David? I done got swept up in the crowd. I said, let me go here and record. I don't know, but yeah, he is kind of a big deal. They came out for him. They was out there deep. It had to be at least 500 people, if not more. So they were like shouting his name. That's what got my attention. So I was like, let me go ahead and walk over here. Let me see who David is. So I'm glad he's out. Yeah, they were going hard for David. They were all in their purple and, Yeah, they were going hard for him. So thank you for that information. I couldn't think of his last name. All I knew is that his first name was David. Let me see here. Hold on. Athena Renee Senfai, she said, do you think he did it with J-Ho too? Nobody says anything about her. I live in LA and these anti-black Mexicans won't let their kids play with yours. Thank you so much for the super chat. I think J-Lo is a special case. I don't think he could have disrespected J-Lo in the same manner as he did Kim. Because remember, when they were dating, J-Lo's status at one point was just as big, if not bigger than Diddy's. J-Lo was a big come up for Diddy. And I'm not saying she didn't do no freaky shit. I just don't think she did the extent of what the other women did. Diddy knows who to play with. And I just don't see him pimping her out like that. I don't think she would have went for it. She was more or less trying to be the ride or die chick until it got too real. See, she wanted to be the Bonnie and Clyde until she got a mugshot. And it didn't, it didn't vow well with her family and her career and her reputation. When shit got hot, that club shooting, she was out. But up until then, she loved the attention. She loved the proximity. But I just don't, I don't see him doing J-Lo like that. And there's been no receipts. You know what I'm saying? I think he knew who he could play with. I think J-Lo was a bit too big of a star where she wouldn't have put up with that. But these other ones, they were, not to be derogatory, beneath him. As far as like career-wise, money, status. So, when you're somebody who's way up here, unfortunately that power goes to some people's heads and they feel like they can treat people like trash simply because they're quote unquote beneath them or not as popular or don't have as much money or status. So I think he couldn't do that with J-Ho. He knew who he could do that with. And I don't think she was one of them. Let's see here. Color Me Oakland says Black, Asian, and Latinos have a long history of standing together. Thank you for the super chat. Hanging Garden Senpai says weight gain is common when them drugs wear off. Look at Blueface when he went in. Yeah, Blueface done got big as hell. He's gotten very, very chunky in there. Ivy Flo says, did you hear about the Minneapolis protests? Yes. Them white liberals in my city. Did y'all hear about the Minneapolis? Thank you, Ivory. Let me pull up some stuff on Minneapolis. They went in my city on Lake Street, kind of near where the George Floyd riots were. Them white folks was not playing. Let me show y'all how, and this was before the whole LA riots. Damn, now that I think about it, did Minneapolis kick off some shit again? Remember in 2020, we're the ones who kicked off the George Floyd riots that spread around the country because we're in the Midwest. And now they did that whole thing with the ICE raids, the Twin Cities once again, and now that energy is spreading from east to west. Like in 2020. Yeah, they heard about it on Reddit and everybody just came to the south side. They wasn't playing. Let me see if I can. Yeah, they had armored vehicles. It was crazy. Let me show you. Here it go right here. Let me share my screen. Give me just a second. So this was Minneapolis 6 days ago. So last weekend is when everything went down. Let me play this one here.
A chaotic confrontation between federal law enforcement and protesters. You can see one man get tossed as FBI agents in fatigues roll by on East Lake Street in Minneapolis. Our Reg Chapman was in the middle of all of this afternoon. Reg, what happened out there?
Well, Jeff, hundreds of community members took to the streets in protest of federal agents in full force raiding a South Minneapolis business. Now, crowds began to form near Bloomington Avenue and Lake Street South around noon after community members reported seeing federal agents gathered near a business there. They feared the worst, that immigration officers were there to arrest people, and Minneapolis police in the Hennepin
And these were white folks going hard. When I tell you, because I was watching a lot of the Facebook streams in my city, them white folks was going hard. They wanted all the damn smoke. Them white liberals in Minnesota do not play. They be out there, and you had the natives, and, the South Side is such a mix right? So like further up, you had like Somaliland, the Kamal Mall and all that. Then you have Little Earth. That's where all the Native Americans be. So you're hearing the drumming. The Native Americans, they come out with their drumming. So they start drumming and stuff like that, hyping the crowd up. But them white folks, they was fighting the police. They wanted all the smoke.
And county sheriff's office were there to assist. But in a statement, Mayor Jacob Fry said this incident was related to a criminal search warrant for drugs and money laundering and was not related to immigration enforcement. No arrests were made. He says MPD's only role was helping with crowd control and keeping the community safe. Many in the community did not feel like they were being protected.
I don't think they realized the community would respond so quick and kind of create a human barrier. So you can kind of see them strategizing a plan to get people out.
And then what we saw is we saw them come back and assist by taping off the area and putting up police lines and pushing the community back.
Now, Mayor Fry said he understands the community's concern.
Yeah, the community wasn't playing. I'm trying to find like the raw footage because they was going in. Here goes some. Let me see. Them white Minneapolis people do not play, child. Now, what was so crazy about this whole situation in Minneapolis was they're trying to say, oh, they was just trying to they was trying to raid the taco house. So there's this big spot over there. It's like a Mexican restaurant, the Taco House, very popular. They claimed they was trying to raid the taco house, but wasn't nobody buying that shit. Because if y'all need to raid the taco house, why y'all come in like tactical gear? Trying to see if I can find some more video. Like they came through like in tactical gear. Trying to see. It'll pop, you know what, it might just be it might be on Twitter. I'm gonna search Twitter real quick and see. Let me check Twitter and see if I can find, because the raw footage was way better. But a lot of people are saying that they don't believe the official story that they were there to raid the taco house of all the restaurants because of money laundering and stuff. They feel like that's the cover story. So like I said, this situation is going to bring a lot of people together. Okay, here goes some. Yeah, see all the raw videos on Twitter. You gotta love X. Let's watch some of these on Twitter. So this is like, I feel like this was the catalyst that started a lot of the rioting that we're seeing now. I think they saw how them white folks was coming to Minneapolis. It was like, yeah, we about to come just as hard. Okay, let me share my screen. All right. Okay, so you guys can't hear? Yes, okay, hold on, because I'm getting a message from StreamYard. Your browser lost connection to your screen share audio. Try your screen again. How do you lose connection to the audio? What the hell? Hold on. What does that even mean? Can y'all hear me though? Y'all can't hear me either? Okay, hold on. Okay, y'all can hear me. Y'all just couldn't hear the audio. Your browser has lost connection to your screen share. Okay, let me stop screen sharing and let me just start it over. I'm going to try it again and then let me know if y'all can hear it. That's weird. I don't know why I would just lose that. That's weird. Okay, let's start it again and see. Okay. Let me know if y'all can hear this real quick.
You don't know what it is. Fucking don't fuck it. Push it through. Go back to Elk River, you pieces of shit. Back, bye, Mike. Slide back.
Look, you had this guy taunting and messing with the police. He's gotten thrown a few times by the police. And he's keeping on going back to him, too. This guy right here just got pushed by the police after he's pushing at them.
Okay, there's one other video. Let me unmute this one.
Including the FBI, ICE, DEA, and ATF, served high-risk search warrants related to drugs and money laundering at this Mexican restaurant on East Lake Street. Hundreds of protesters gathered, some class.
Oh, come on. Now it wants the clock. Find another video. I think we just watched that one. Let's see. Okay, Twitter's having all types of clocking issues at this point, but y'all get the idea. So that's what was going on in Minneapolis. So thank you for that super chat. Yeah, just kind of showing y'all what was going on in the Twin Cities a few days ago. So yeah, it's been nuts. So thank you, Ivy. Yeah, when that happened, like everybody was blowing up my phone, like, you see what's going on over South? I'm like, yes, I'm watching it on Facebook right now, live. Them white folks are not playing on the South Side. So, but then the Somalians came out, you know what I'm saying? The Somalians was out there too. So it was a lot of people. The Mexicans were hiding. We didn't see too many Latinos. They were hiding. But the Somalians was, you know, they was out there Somalian-ing. The natives was out there native-ing. And the white folks was out there like, we don't give a fuck. Them white folks they was wilding. Them white people in Minnesota, they do not play. Them white liberals, they will go hard. They will go hard for a cause. They really will. So, let me see here. Somebody, let me read some more super chats. Miss Anonymous says, the Statue of Liberty says, give me your tired, poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free. That is what's on the Statue of Liberty. Thank you so much. I knew it was something, child. I appreciate it. But yeah, the Statue of Liberty is here in New York. So, you know, a lot of New Yorkers are like not feeling everything that's going on. Let's see here. Cat Risa sent 5 says it's a war zone here in LA and the Paramount area. Ooh wee. That's what I'm hearing. Forever Your Leo. Hey sis, she says, T, did you see the reporter that was hit by the rubber bullet? Yes, I did. I saw that. I think she was like from Australia or something and she got hit. Let me play the guy. Okay, let's move over to LA. We done went from New York to Minneapolis. Now let's head to LA. This is the video that went viral the other day. This was sad. This went viral all over TikTok and Instagram about the kids' graduation getting raided. It's elementary school graduation. So we're going to watch this young man's video here.
I didn't think this was about to affect me like this. But our neighbor's school, y'all know I work at a school. Fuck. Our neighboring school, I think it's Gratas, I don't know how to say it. It's Gratas or something like that. They were having their graduation. And there's helicopters in the sky. Most of these schools are. Fuck, yo. Most of these schools are predominantly Hispanic. Most of these schools are predominantly Hispanic. Gratas, I believe elementary, was having their graduation. And all of a sudden a bunch of parents have to run out because I can't handle this, y'all. Because ISIS is there. This is the story that I'm hearing. And, you know, our school goes on lockdown. Our principal, you know, tells us it's a drill, but we know it's not a drill. And, you know, I had to come outside. It's my break. We kind of got like off of a soft lockdown. And, you know, parents had to run out because they don't have papers, and they had to leave their kids because the kids do. What type of shit is this, yo? And then kids are freaking grabbing teachers and crying on their leg because they don't know if they're about to see their parents when they get home. What the fuck is this? And we voted for this shit? 15 people just got picked up on Wilshire at the Home Depot. On Wilshire. Yo. Man, oh my God. This is not as ISIS is there.
This is brand new, motherfucker. I'm sure your mama starved in the past. That's why she came here, like all these other people have, to look for a better life. I can see the fucking shame in your fucked up face, puto. I see the shame in you. Go tell your mama how you proud of rallying people and taking them in. What crime did they make? What crime did they commit? Nothing. I'm sure you're proud, bitch. Oh, you don't arresting defenseless people. Look at you, you're darker than I am, motherfucker. Mira, you're darker than me. But I'm sure you're proud. You're supposed to be here either. You should be in the van. Or claro, puto, because you didn't have the balls to send up for your people. You should be in the van. This is Brian.
Hoo-wee. It's definitely heavy. It's sad to like just watch everything that's taking place. Let's also normalize black men crying and showing their emotions. I don't know why some people were making fun of him and saying, you know, what is he crying for? Because he's a teacher, he has empathy. These were his students affected. The kids are scared, and that's something traumatic to go through. A graduation is supposed to be a celebration, happy times, and then all the parents run and leave the kids. That is traumatic for everybody involved. The parents scared they may not see their kids, the kids are scared they may not see their parents, and the teachers are just stuck not knowing what to do. You know, so it's just, the whole thing is just extremely sad. It's disheartening. You know, I don't know what's going on right now in America anymore. It's been divisive for a long time, but now it's even more. It's a divisiveness that is scary. It's like people are scared. You know, I still have a lot of connections in LA, a lot of people I'm still cool with, and that's what everybody's been telling me. The LA that we once knew is not there. This is not the LA of yesteryear. This is not the LA of like when I lived there in 2015 to 2018, they're like, that is not the same LA. They're like, there's barely any vendors on the street. Like, everybody is scared out there. You know, LA is not a perfect place. California is not a perfect state, but that's home to millions of people. So it breaks my heart to see all of this, you know, especially because I lived there for so many years and I know so many cool people in LA. I have a lot of Latino friends out there in LA. So it's really sad to like watch all of this. It feels like this is our version of the 1992 LA riots. It's really feeling the same way. So let me pull up this. I'm going to watch some Twitter videos here. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm still up, y'all. So, am I frozen? Okay, no. I was about to say, come on, StreamYard. We got a good connection. Don't fail me now. Okay, let me share this screen here. Okay, so let's watch some. Let's look at some of this. So President Trump says, looking really bad in LA, bring in the troops. Oh, come on, Twitter. For some reason, Twitter keeps clocking. Why is that? Let me refresh it and see. Hold on. And then, of course, it disappears. Dang, I was on the page. Let me see if I put in LA. Because I was trying to show, like, they were dropping rocks and stuff. Well, let's see. Maybe this one will play. I don't know what's up with Twitter. It's really just clocking. Like, come on. Let's see. Which restaurant is this? They should be honored. These workers at this Mexican restaurant downtown LA deserve a massive thank you for helping out a deputy recover over his injuries from the riots. Oh, that's sweet. I wish this would play. Let me copy the link and see. If I do that, that will pull it up. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Twitter, y'all. It keeps clocking. All right, well, let's go to the news feeds. Let's see what the news is talking about. All right, let's watch this.
A president calling in the National Guard without direct request from a state's governor is extremely rare. KPRC2's Mario Diaz is live downtown with more on that approach. Mario.
And it is approach, Lisa, that it is legal. And that's an important issue to bring up here, that it is legal to take this step. Keep in mind, the governors of most states have control of the National Guard, which is why you see the name Texas National Guard, California National Guard, right? Because it's part of that state. The governor does control it. But the complete and total control, well, that lies in Washington, D.C., which allows the federal government to actually say, hey, we want to send in the National Guard if they feel the civil unrest is too much or the safety risk too great to the public, for that the local authorities simply cannot handle it.
All right, he's just running his mouth. Next.
The local police, the local sheriffs, they're really the first line in defending.
He ain't talking about shit. Let's watch her get shot by rubber bullets. Long-winded ass story.
After hours of standing off, this situation has now rapidly deteriorated. The LAPD moving in on horseback, firing rubber bullets at protesters, moving them on through the heart of LA. You just fucking shut the
That wasn't funny. That wasn't funny. I feel bad for her.
Fascists! Reporting that they're fascists!
You'll be fine, sis. At least it was a rubber bullet, not a hot one. She'll be fine. It sucks, but she'll live. She will live. Let's see. Let's see what they're talking about.
Tonight, we've got our reporters out across the city, and we begin with Liz Kreutz. Liz, let's start with the Marines being called in tonight.
Yeah, Tom, so officials calling in 700 Marines that are being mobilized here. They're not here in LA yet, but they are on their way. You can see there's a large crowd that is gathered here. Those Marines, we're told, are experts in de-escalation and crowd control, and they're going to join those 2,000 National Guard troops. Some of them you see right there at this federal building, facing off now with protesters.
Tonight, a massive group of protesters again taking to the streets of LA.
In this country, no human is illegal.
The City of Angels on edge after violent clashes over the
So this was just posted 8 minutes ago. So this is the most recent.
weekend. Police in riot gear facing off with protesters who oppose immigration enforcement operations carried out by ICE agents. Tonight, President Trump saying he made a great decision to send 2,000 National Guard soldiers to the city.
People that are causing the problem are professional agitators, they're insurrectionists.
California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom opposed the president's move, saying Trump was manufacturing chaos and violence.
You had a disaster happening. I feel we had no choice. I don't want to see happen what happened so many times in this country. I watched Minneapolis burn.
All of this erupting in response to ICE immigration enforcement operations. More than 100 undocumented immigrants arrested last week. DHS saying most had final deportation orders, some with criminal records, including domestic violence and robbery. Mayor Karen Bass calling on residents to express their anger peacefully and blaming the president for inflaming the unrest.
I don't want people to fall into the chaos that I believe is being created by the administration completely unnecessarily.
The confrontations escalating over the weekend. This video showing DHS agents pelted with objects while inside their vehicle. And here, a restaurant worker helping a sheriff's deputy who appeared to be pepper sprayed.
Tonight we had individuals out there shooting commercial-grade fireworks at our officers. That can kill you.
Police firing non-lethal rounds to disperse the crowds, one hitting this reporter. The protesters taking over one of LA's busiest freeways, bringing traffic Sunday to a standstill. Crowds above throwing rocks and incendiary devices at officers. An electric scooter landing on the hood of a police car.
Damn. Here on 101 right now, protesters have shut down.
Oh my God, that is the 101? That is the 101? Y'all are not playing, and I'm really just seeing all this because I've been on airplanes and been busy. Wow. They really shut down the 101. Ooh wee.
See, flashlights have been going off. Police are closing in. Protesters are running southbound. Let's go.
Our team pulling back to avoid the tear gas. Later, we watched as protesters vandalized multiple Waymo self-driving vehicles that got stuck in the chaos.
Things are escalating now. Protesters have lit 2 Waymo self-driving cars on fire. You can see the flames here.
Police cars and this American flag also set ablaze. During the clashes, many protesters waving Mexican flags, what's become a symbol of resistance against ICE.
I'm flying this proudly because it's a product of my personal identity, my ancestors.
Protesters opposing the National Guard deployment.
What do you think about the National Guard being brought in?
I think that it's ridiculous because where was the National Guard on January 6th?
This violence that I've seen is disgusting. We are overwhelmed.
Clock it. In my summer voice. Where was the National Guard on January 6th? Because I remember a bunch of insurrectionists, storming the Capitol and putting police officers at the Capitol, in danger. Isn't why that lady Ashley Babbitt got shot? Because she was terrorizing the police? So yeah, why weren't they caught then? And a lot of those insurrectionists have been let out. I'm just saying, she wasn't lying.
Overwhelmed as far as the number of people out there engaged in this type of activity.
The LAPD chief asked about the presence of the National Guard, saying he thought local authorities could handle it, but he's now reassessing.
Do we need them? Well, looking at it tonight, this thing has gotten out of control.
Liz Kreutz joins us once again from the scene of those protests. Liz, we saw what happened this weekend. Walk our viewers through what's happening tonight.
Yeah, so right now, this is a large crowd of people that's continuing to grow. It's about 3 different protests, Tom, that are now converging in this one location here outside this federal building where we're seeing the National Guard. We weren't seeing this last night. Los Angeles has just announced a tactical alert citywide here. There's a lot of anger. They're shouting at these officers, but mostly so far it has been peaceful. That's what we're hearing from officers as well. But the big concern is as we head into those nighttime hours, that's when we really start to see the escalation, Tom.
All right, Liz Kreutz leading us off. Liz, please stay safe out there. Now to the growing war of words between the Trump administration and Governor Gavin Newsom over the L.A. protests you just saw. The latest escalation, President Trump suggesting today he'd support arresting Newsom. Here's Jacob Soboroff.
What?
Tensions high tonight on the streets of Los Angeles and between the Trump administration and the state of California. The state today announcing a lawsuit against the administration over its deployment of the National Guard.
I like Gavin Newsom. He's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent. Everybody knows.
While President Trump suggested he's open to arresting Governor Gavin Newsom.
I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great.
Tom is Tom Homan, the president's border czar. Over the weekend, Homan and Newsom throwing jabs at one another during interviews with NBC News. Homan saying anyone who breaks the law by standing in the way of immigration enforcement could be arrested, even Newsom or LA Mayor Karen Bass.
Are they at risk of being arrested?
I'll say it about anybody. You cross that line. It's a felony to knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien. It's a felony to impede law enforcement from doing their job.
That led to this reaction from Newsom, who I met up with last night at the Los Angeles County Emergency Operations Center.
Tom Homan, the border czar, said to me yesterday he did not rule out literally arresting you, nor Mayor Bass, if you interfere in his words. He said you hadn't yet.
He's a tough guy. Why doesn't he do that? And he knows where to find me. So, Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
Today, Homan clarifying his comments.
They haven't crossed the line, but they're not above the law either. If they commit a crime, they certainly will ask for prosecution. That's what was happening. I never threatened to arrest Governor Newsom.
The protests ignited after a series of immigration raids in LA, where as many as 1 million undocumented immigrants live.
Before those protests on Friday, one of the locations where ICE reportedly conducted an enforcement operation was right here in this parking lot of a Home Depot in the Cypress Park neighborhood of Los Angeles, where day laborers stand on corners just like this and wait for cars to go by in order to be offered a job and go take one for the day.
In the face of the uncommon raids, these undocumented workers felt it was important to speak out, but wore masks to protect their identities.
Everybody is scared about ICE.
Are you?
Y'all know y'all are dead wrong for having them wear gas masks. Why not blur out their faces? We can still see Jose. We can still see Manuel. Come on, y'all. Do better.
Worried about your family, about your families?
Absolutely.
Today, organizer Pablo Alvarado calling the raids the highest expression of hypocrisy.
We need your labor, but we don't want to accept your humanity. We need your labor, but we don't want to respect your rights.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay...
They know they dead wrong for that. They just gonna show their face and act like them gas masks is really gonna cover them and protect them. Child, we're not gonna do that. All right, let's see what he's talking about. He's a vlogger out in LA.
The footage you're about to see is absolutely insane. The police are coming through right now. Speak no more and get into the video. Everyone's out here protesting right now.
Nick
I just came through here down to LA. The streets are erupting here. Let's see what's going on. The National Guard has been deployed out here into the streets of LA. Thousands of protesters are here on the streets right now. Right here on this federal building, you have words like F-ICE, revolution starting here, here for my family. All sorts of stuff. Right here you have the National Guard. They've come through. You have troops, about 300 in different directions. Trump sent in about 2,000 people. There's groups of 300 sent around the city right here. And this one is at the side of the federal building here at one of the ICE detention centers here in LA. What's your message to the National Guard here today?
The National Guard.
And why do you think they got sent out here today?
They got sent because we don't have a president that can lead.
What fears you most about Donald Trump and the ICE raids coming through here?
Yeah, I don't know who Nick Shirley is. His video just popped up. Some people are saying he's racist. He's a prick. I don't know who this man is. He's pro-Trump. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Let's go ahead and find somebody else to watch, child. He just popped up under the riot, so he must be a riot chaser. Let me see who else we can, well, let's get him off the screen. Let me Google some more stuff here. Let's see, LA. Yeah, he has a big following. I don't know who he is, though. He just popped up under LA riots. So let's see. Oh, wait. It is getting real in LA, boy. For some reason, TikTok would not let me log into my TikTok account. It said I tried too many times. Bullshit. I know my damn password. So I'm going to have to try later. Otherwise, I would just go through TikTok. I'm trying to find like the most recent. Oh, let's see. Oh, here's where they were throwing rocks. Okay, let's look at this one.
is required by the law enforcement people. They have to be treated medically if they're hurt.
Oh,
or
this
if
is Fox News.
They are, complaining of injury.
But you
And,
can see, like,
it is-
the stuff that they really did a lot of damage to these cars. Like, they're not playing. I'm just really trying to look for a video. I don't really even want to hear the commentary.
Somebody's going to be taking a live round.
I just want to see raw footage. Let me go back on Instagram, see if I can find some raw footage on IG, since I can't log into TikTok. And usually I would just use Twitter, but Twitter is tripping. Oh, here goes a little girl talking. Okay, let's watch these people. I think these are some of the kids from the raid. Let's see what they're talking about. Oh no, that's from 2019. That's old. Let me find something else. Let's see. Let's see what comes up on Instagram. Oh, this picture is going viral. I've been seeing this picture. Now, you got this black dude jumping in the picture looking for attention. I hope he know they're going to be coming after him too. Because at least Jesus got his face covered with a mask. Your black ass is fully exposed. Anything for attention. Okay. Damn. So they set on fire them Waymo self-driving vehicles. Okay, call me a conspiracy theorist, but let me ask y'all this. Okay, so these are self-driving vehicles. What made them drive themselves into the middle of a riot? Follow me here. Do you think that the company Waymo purposely had them drive themselves into a riot knowing that they'd be attacked and beat up, and then they can, get some insurance money? Clock it. Or am I reaching? Because, you're a self-driving vehicle. Somebody has to program you to drive there. They're not that autonomous that they're going to be like, I'm about to just drive into the riot. It's like, how did y'all end up there? Y'all are self-driving. So who told y'all to go there? Y'all should have sat home and ate y'all's food or motor oil. But instead of eating your motor oil, you decide to go to the riots and got y'all's ass whooped. And now Waymo gonna file a big insurance claim. I'm just saying. Let's clock that T. I didn't know there's an emoji for it too. Who took that emoji up? Sharife. I didn't know there was emoji for that. I'm just saying, what was Waymo doing there? And there's several Waymo cars. So when the first one drove his ass out there, why didn't the other ones turn around? Why didn't they say, you know what, I sense danger. Let me go ahead and mind my autonomous business. But then more came. Somebody looking for a check. I'm just saying. Somebody's looking for a check. I refuse to believe they just, happened upon the riots and got their ass whooped. So let's see if we can find some more video. I found some more video. We're just going to watch a bunch of raw footage. We got over 7,000 people in the house. All right, let's watch some more raw footage on the riots here. Yeah, this is giving me LA Riot 1992, except they're not burning stores yet. It's mainly driverless vehicles. Like, imagine we're so far ahead in the future from 1992 that there's actually driverless vehicles out here getting burnt up.
Behind me that was set on fire. This is a Waymo, and there are several others
Damn.
here on this street. This is Los Angeles Street, right near Arcadia Street and the 101. We can show you those videos, but take a look. This is what it was like yesterday.
They burnt those Waymo autonomous vehicles to a crisp.
Now, at least 5 Waymos burned, and we do know the company suspended service to the area during the protest. There were also clashes with law enforcement throughout the day. Huge crowds seen all across downtown. Starting in the late morning hours is when protesters began to arrive, but by midnight, behind me that was set.
This was the video I was trying to find, was people literally chucking bricks, scooters, and everything. Like, that's crazy onto police cars. That's insane.
Their squad cars from North Hollywood Division.
Damn. Even in North Hollywood. Oh, wee. Wow. Come on, y'all. Oh my God. Oh man. Whose racist ass page is this? Did the illegal light himself on fire? Whose country bumpkin page is this? Man, it is not that serious, man. Y'all are really burning up cars. See, this was in 1992. This was 92. That's what it's reminding me of. They're not burning buildings yet. But yeah, this is crazy. Wow. They put a... Okay, so the FBI put a $50,000 bounty on this violent mass rioter who assaulted a federal officer this weekend. Oh, wee. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, not Dale's Donuts in the background. So that is so LA. That is so LA. Let's see, what is this video? Oh, they got a mask. Wow. Wow. Mm. So sad. Trying to see if there's any videos. I'm just seeing pictures. Okay. And that's when we saw earlier. Man, it's so much going on, y'all. Let me see if we have anything else. I got some shorts. Leaf blower against tear gas. So this one, they're saying this is the 4th day of the protest. So this been going on since, what, today's Monday. So since Friday, Saturday. Oh, this is live. Oh, so they're still out there. So they're still out there right now. Damn, I wish my TikTok was working. All right, I don't want to keep hearing all this noise. Hold on. I'm going to pause. Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats here. Let me come back on the screen. It is so much going on right now. Okay. Hold on. Let me read these chats here. Okay, so Miss Sparkle 22 says, T, do you think this overreacting response in LA is tied to a planned upcoming protest on Trump's birthday, June 14th, planting seeds of chaos? I didn't know that there was an upcoming protest on his birthday. I know he's a Gemini. Yeah, I didn't know that, but it could be. From what Gavin Newsom and everybody's saying, they said that they had the riots, the so-called riots, under control, and that LAPD was on top of it, but they felt like it escalated once he got the National Guard involved. And I think that's kind of what happened in Minneapolis as well. It's like, okay, if you're trying to issue an arrest warrant, for the people at the Taco House, why is it not the Minneapolis Police Department? Any other time it would just be the Minneapolis Police Department. But they had the National Guard out there. They had ICE. They had so many different divisions. It's like, well, this can't just be a simple, fraud situation. Because this would just be the Minneapolis police. It wouldn't be anybody else. So I think that they escalated it by sending in the National Guards. So thank you for the super chat, sis. Anna says, LA looks a mess and violent. I'm not surprised. National Guard and Marines were called. Trump has a birthday parade Friday in D.C. Good luck. More drama. It's going to be interesting. It really is. Thank you for the super chat. RI197 sent $2, says, I love your content and your videos. They bring me joy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Melanin Queen says, not the car getting their ass whooped. Damn, T. Now cars are pulling up and getting dealt with. If the matter wasn't serious, I'd be on my neck. I mean, I just feel like they're self-driving cars, so why would you drive yourself into the danger zone? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they definitely drove them there on purpose so they can get some type of insurance check. It's not lost on me at all. Let's see. Alyssa McKnight sent $4.99 says, this is why I don't give two shakes and piss about celebrities. The BET Awards is going on right now. Not a care in the world. I don't think anybody's talking about BET. Even since I've been out here, I haven't heard not one person. Even today when we were just chopping it up at the courthouse, nobody's talking about the BET Awards because people are dealing with real stuff at this point in time. People are dealing with real situations. There's mass layoffs going on. The price of everything's going up. Riots. Don't nobody care what nobody's wearing right now on the BET red carpet. Unless they're looking for escapism, nobody is caring. Everybody's focus right now is on LA and what's going on in LA. They're not worried about the BET Awards. So I definitely agree with you, sis. Let's see here. Dexter Davis. What's up, Dexter? He says, what's up, T? Good to see you. I'm celebrating my 33rd birthday this Friday, the 13th. Gemini gang, 1992. Love you. Be safe and take care. Thank you so much and happy early birthday to you. I hope you enjoy your birthday. Thank you for checking in. Let's see here. And then Dexter also gifted a lovely T membership. So somebody wants a membership, he gifted one. So thank you so much, Dexter. Cheryl says, T, tell me about this Golden Dome, please. What Golden Dome? I don't even know what you're talking about. Let me Google because I have no idea. Golden Dome. Oh, shit. Hold on. The Golden Dome is a proposed multi-layer missile defense system for the United States envisioned as a shield against incoming threats. What? When did all this come about? Hold on. I'm Googling, sis. President Trump announces a golden dome? What the fuck? Hold on. Let me show y'all this. I didn't even know about this, sis. So y'all telling me something new. Like I said, it kind of reminds me what they got in Israel. Am I mistaken? Ain't that what they got in Israel? The so-called dome that didn't protect them on October 7th? But let me go ahead and mind my business. Americans Golden Dome. Okay, I need somebody to explain this to me. Trump's dome, China's edge. Hold up now. I'm trying to find a short video that can explain it. Trump unveils a golden dome. Yeah, I didn't hear about this. Okay, CBS News is talking about it. Let's watch what CBS has to say. Hold on. Let me know if y'all can't hear it. Okay, no sound. Okay, let me refresh it. Let me stop the screen sharing and pull it back up. Okay, I'm a pull it back up. I don't know. Once again, I'm using StreamYard. Unfortunately, I don't have OBS on this computer, so you know StreamYard. There will be some technical glitches, unfortunately. Okay. Let me know if I'm gonna play it over. Let me know if y'all can hear.
President Trump says a missile defense system to protect the United States will be, in his words, fully operational by the end of this term. It's similar to the Iron Dome in Israel. You may have heard about it, but the Trump administration calls its version Golden Dome.
The Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space.
Eleanor Watson joins us now from the Pentagon. Eleanor, tell us what is the risk assessment and what this system, so-called Golden Dome, would be deployed to stop.
Hi, Major. Well, first, President Trump talked about the price tag, as you mentioned. I want to note that he said it's going to take $175 billion in about 3 years to make. That comes with some caveats. The down payment for this system is $25 billion included in that reconciliation bill that has not yet passed. The rest of the funding has not been secured by Congress, though President Trump seems optimistic that Congress will support this. And then,
so who's paying for this Golden Dome? This is coming out of taxpayers' money, I'm assuming. And the thing that's even more frightening, I'm going to keep letting it play, but the thing that's even more scary is if he's trying to build us a Golden Dome like Israel has the Iron Dome, what are you trying to tell us? That World War III is coming. Because what are we preparing for unless it's other than war? Other than war.
And then on the timeline, the Defense Department still has to choose many of the contracts to build out this program. And this program is pretty expansive. The Golden Dome is meant to have a layered, integrated missile defense from the sea all the way to the space. The system would expand on what the U.S. military already has and then build on it to counter some of the emerging technologies, missile technologies that Russia and China and other countries are increasingly building or looking to build, like hypersonics, like submarine-launched ballistic missiles, like intercontinental ballistic missiles. That is a hefty undertaking, but many experts who have been tracking this for a long time say that that is overdue. Now, what is notable about the Golden Dome is the space aspect, that there will be space sensors deployed, sensors to track incoming missile threats, to track missiles as soon as they're launched, but also space-based interceptors, which means that for the first time ever, the U.S. military could deploy weapons, although defensive,
Okay,
to
hold
space.
up. Hold up. Is this thing ready to launch already? Like, what do you mean? Like, wait, like, I'm shook right now because I have not heard of this. This is like my first time hearing this. It's supposed to, like, intercept missiles. So how long is this supposed to take to build? Is this already been built and they're going to just place it on top of us within the next few months? When will this be done? Like, this is insane. I'm like really shook listening to this. Because World War III is literally right around the corner. So when is this Golden Dome supposed to start doming? Is what I'm wondering. They're saying 3 years. I'm not buying it. They know too much information to say that it's 3 years away. I'm not buying that it's 3 years away. Because they're literally talking like these missiles are coming within the next few months. I do not believe that this is like a 3-year plan. I bet you they've been working on this. Because remember, with technology, we may get it, but a lot of technology was already out years in advance. They're telling us about it, but I'm not buying that it's 3 years away. I'm not buying that at all. Especially being that Israel already has their Iron Dome. So they know how to build it. They've been having it. I think they're now slowly trying to put it into like the American consciousness, this whole Golden Dome. But they're going to roll that out sooner than later. I'm not buying their 3-year plan at all. Because why is all this coming to fruition around the same time that Russia is becoming more and more powerful? The BRIC nations are expanding to other nations now. The US dollar is devaluing. A lot of nations are now doing their trade in their own currency. A lot of people are not trading anymore in US dollars. So I'm not buying that.
Base to counter some of these missile threats.
And Eleanor, the comparison to Iron Dome in Israel is useful metaphorically, but there are some very big differences. One, it seems to me, Israel's Iron Dome is to defend against things from very close proximity that are less sophisticated. A Golden Dome, if that's the name that actually holds, would have to cover a much wider space and a much greater array of much more sophisticated weaponry. Do I have that basically right?
You have that basically right. The Iron Dome is a great name. President Trump seems to like it, but it does defend against shorter range projectiles. Israel has 2 other systems, David's Sling and Arrow, that defend against missiles. The Golden Dome that the U.S. is contemplating to build, is planning to build, will cover that entire range of threats. And you mentioned the geographic territory. We did learn from President Trump today that Canada wants to be involved in the Golden Dome. So not only is the U.S. way larger than Israel, but also U.S. and Canada combined is significantly larger.
Significantly larger indeed.
I'm not buying none of this shit. They've been planning this. The Golden Dome is probably already on the works. Been working on it for the past 20 years. And again, who was building the Golden Dome? Y'all are deporting all the damn Latinos. They're the hardest workers out here. So who's building this Golden Dome? Oh, okay. That's why I feel like it's already built. They're just gonna be they're gonna be implementing it a lot sooner than later. I feel like they already have it. Well, thank you so much, Cheryl, because I didn't even know about that. So I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. I'm going to do some more research on that for sure, because I want to know more about this. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's something that's just creepy about that. That's how you know it's like, well, they have all this money to pour into that, but yet and still the roads are bad. The infrastructure is falling. Bridges are collapsing. scared the grid may go out. And a lot of these grids, be prepared, because we talked about this in our Zoom meeting, the latest Zoom meeting that I just uploaded on Discord. Shout out to Shanette, our fellow electrician. You know, she was letting us know that there's going to be a lot of grid issues this summer. So you're going to be dealing with blackouts, rolling blackouts. And the problem is a lot of these transformers, like she was telling us, come from China. And right now we're not in a good space with China. So if those transformers go out, it's going to take a lot longer for you to get your electricity. So right now, a lot of the electricians around the country, if you speak to people who are in the electrical field, they're very scared of this upcoming hurricane season. Not only did, most of NOAA get let go, so we don't even know where the hell the hurricanes are going to land and hit. So that's nice. It's going to be a roll of the dice. If and when they hit, if they knock out power, it's going to take a lot more to get that power back. Because if those hurricanes end up knocking down transformers or destroying them, they're not going to get to us as quickly because of all the stuff with the tariffs. So be prepared that if you are in Hurricane Alley, or hell, even Tornado Alley, right now the electrical grids are really at risk. And that is the truth. That is coming from somebody who is a very high level electrician. So just be prepared. Make sure you guys have your, what are those? Generators, water. Everybody should be stocking up. Make sure you have at least a week, 2 weeks worth of food, water stocked, things like that. Because shit is about to hit the fan soon enough. With all the stuff that's going on, the protests, like I just feel like a lot of this stuff is like Bible prophecy being fulfilled. And now we got them talking about a damn golden dome. It's getting real out here. So please be prepared. We've been saying that for years on this channel. People like to accuse us of prep shaming. I don't see why that's even a thing, why that's even a word. It should never be considered shaming to tell people to prepare, to make sure they have enough food, enough water, enough resources. They have maps. They know how to get from one side of town to another in the event their phones don't work. Remember what happened? What was that overseas? What country was that? Remember all the countries, they suffered that blackout and the phone systems went out? People were stuck. I can't think of what country that was. It just escaped me. But y'all can write it in the chat. That just happened, like a month ago? Spain, thank you. Spain. They had a major blackout where they couldn't use anything. No lights, no phone, complete darkness. And that went on for a day. Now imagine if that went on. Yep, it was Spain and Portugal. Imagine if that goes on longer, like a week. It's going to be utter chaos. So yeah, just make sure y'all are prepared. Honeymoon Sim 499 says, looking beautiful, T. There's definitely a negative feeling or vibe looming lately. Awesome work again from your spicy Pisces tea sipper. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, there definitely is. Like I said, it's a spirit. I talked about this in my last live stream. There's, we're fighting a lot of spiritual wars out here, and spirits are moving through people. Spirit of Leviathan and things like that. It's moving through people. Spirit of narcissism. It's a lot of stuff going on. So it's really scary. Just stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. Let's see here. Nana Nia gifted a membership. Thank you so much, sis. Appreciate you. Obsidian Travel sent 5. Says it's sad. Oh, hold on. It refreshed. Where'd it go? Okay. Hold on. Where'd it go? Said it's sad to see all this violence and destruction happening here in the U.S., but not the same energy for their home countries. Corrupt officials. Thank you for the super chat, love. Hey, Mimi also gifted 5 lovely tea memberships. Thank you so much. So if you guys are interested in getting a membership, Hey, Mimi just gifted 5. Calder says, hey, Auntie, Trump ain't holding back on anything this time around. It'll be satellites in outer space. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. Obsidian sent another 5, says 175 billion to build a golden dome, but still no cure for cancer, HIV, AIDS, shake my head. Using critical thinking, something ain't right. America has a problem. Yeah, unfortunately, they're never going to want to really cure it because the money's in the medication. The money's getting people hooked on the medication that extends their life. So they don't want to cure anything outright, because then the pharmaceutical companies who fund the politicians and, you know, a lot of things in America, they would lose out if they actually gave a care. So they're not coming up with a full cure anytime soon, unfortunately, which is sad. Yeah, cures are out there. There's people who've been healed from cancer, but they're not, you know, it's not going to be approved here because of pharmaceutical companies. Shy B sent $50, says the Golden Dome equals surveillance. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's real interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Let's see here. Camille H says, no immigrants. Who's building the dome? That's what I want to know too, sis. I want to know the same thing. Thank you for the super chat. Davy sent $9.99. He sent a heart. Thank you so much, Davy. Appreciate you. Blair Mason sent $4.99. Says 45 is trying to stay. Cause who will use the dome after 45 leaves? It's gonna be, oh man, we have a long few years. Let's just say that. Nick Knack sent 5, says T. This is the first time it was mentioned. Hold on. The first time it was mentioned from Ronald Reagan. He called it Star Wars. Oh, that's interesting. Like I said, I have to do more research on it because I've never heard of it until this stream. So I'm going to definitely do more research on that. So thank you for that bit of information on Ronald Reagan as well. Thank you. Okay, somebody else said that too. LuluTube12 says they tried to do this during Reagan's administration. It failed. The project has been in the work for around 40 years. It's called Star Wars. Didn't I say that earlier? I said I refuse to believe that they're just now thinking about this and it'll be released in 3 years. Because like I said, everything in technology, we may get it now, but that stuff has been around for decades. Even our cell phones, a lot of the technology in our cell phones, that stuff has been around since the 60s, 70s. We just didn't have access to it. So I definitely believe that. I'm going to look more into that, Star Wars. That's real interesting. So did that come before the Star Wars movie? I wonder if they named it after the movie or was the movie first? I mean, excuse me, or did that come first and then the movie? That's interesting, the name Star Wars. Huh. Thank you for the super chat. Deborah Sem5 says, T, as you speak, Russia has deployed ballistic missiles 400 miles from the U.S. It's a lot of distractions going on. Uh-oh, I didn't know that Russia was deploying missiles again. Let me see here. Let me look that up. Oh, the one that hit Ukraine. I did hear about that. This is crazy. Here goes a short news clip. Weon did a special on it. CNN. CNN's videos be so long. Okay, here goes a short one from the AP. We can watch this real quick. Let's see what the AP has to say on it. up here. Hopefully y'all can hear.
Загалом за одну цю ніч було більше 400 ударних дронів, більше 40 ракет, в тому числі балістичних ракет. Цим ударом росіяни пошкодили в Києві житлові будинки, звичайно. А вже ж, звичайно...
I thought this was going to be in English. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I don't know what he's saying. I mean, I know there's closed caption, but I'm tired. I'm not about to read all that. Somebody just explain it to me in plain English, child. Just tell me what's going on. I don't want to hear him reading from the paper. We're about to explain. Let's see what they're talking about. All right. Let's see. See what Weon is talking about. Okay, they're playing music. I don't want to like pull it up on CNN because CNN's videos be like 20 minutes long. I just want some. See, theirs is like 10 minutes long. Breaking news: U.S. military confirms 700 Marines. Damn, they done send 700 Marines to Los Angeles on top of the National Guards. Wow. Hold on, the AP has some breaking news. Let's see what they're talking about in LA.
Sir, you're a bunch of lemmings following the stupidest orders that make no sense or unethical. Read the Constitution, man. This is crazy. This is the biggest overreaction.
So it looks like the Marines are out there now on top of the National Guards. Let's see if they're actually talking on this one because I want to hear what Russia's up to. They stay in some shit.
Our top story tonight on Gravitas, Russia has carried out one of its largest aerial attacks of the war, launching hundreds of drones and missiles across Ukraine overnight. In fact, Ukrainian authorities say at least 4 people have died, dozens more have been injured after waves of strikes targeted major cities, including the capital, Kiev. Russia's defense ministry has said the attack was a response to quote-unquote terrorist actions by Ukraine. Kiev came under intense fire as explosions and gunfire echoed through the night. Air defense systems engaged incoming missiles and drones for several hours, attempting to prevent further damage across the capital.
Damn. And you know what? I think that's the scariest thing about like war and how war is played out in this day and age. Y'all get the gist of what she's saying. I think the scariest thing right now concerning war is that it's now being ran like a video game. You don't have to be in the vicinity. You can be in the comfort of your own country and push a button, and everything is now done autonomously. You know, that's like the scariest part. He's saying that this is a response to terrorist attacks from the Ukraine. Ain't Ukraine losing? Ukraine ain't got no money. Didn't Trump and them basically clown him out of the White House? So like what missiles do they have to do anything to Russia? Russia has been winning this war. So at this point you're just bullying Ukraine. Well, it's not even bullying, he wants Ukraine. I mean, that's what it boils down to. But it's just very scary, though, when you think about it. Like, is this a test run with these long-range missiles to eventually be able to hit America? You know? Very scary. Yeah, our baby mama, Ukraine, is broke. They ain't got no damn money to be trying to do anything. So that's a lie. I'm not buying that at all. They over here begging. He was literally begging. You know what I'm saying? You know, Trump wanted like their minerals and stuff like that. They were supposed to do a swap. Trump and JD Vance basically clowned him out the White House. Ukraine ain't got no damn money to be trying to launch no more attacks. Child. Yeah, it's crazy what's going on. It really is. Thank you, Ariel. Ariel said, T, don't forget to... Oh, no, it was Jamaican. Says, T, don't forget to talk about Timbaland. Thank you. You can tell I'm getting tired, huh? Like, I'm about... TT about to get undressed and go to bed, honey. Yeah, let me talk about Timbaland before I go, because I've been out here for 2 hours. But I'm having a good time. As long as y'all are having a good time, I'll stay on a little bit longer. So let's talk about Timbaland. Timbaland is a damn sellout, and so is Swiss Beats. That is what people are saying. Now, we all know that they were the ones who started the verses. Well, they kind of commercialized it. So people have been calling them out. But on top of that, Timbaland signed his first... He created a new record label, and he signed the first AI artist. Remember, a few years ago, we had FM Mika. And now we have Tata. I think that's her name. And so a lot of people in the industry, a lot of musicians, especially indie musicians, are pissed. They are livid about this situation concerning Tata. So she's basically the future of music. So let's watch this video real quick. This is a commercial. Hold on. Okay, I think this is a decent video. We'll watch this real quick. So this is Timbaland's new artist, Tata. He should be ashamed of himself, especially being that he's an artist himself. I don't even see why he would be co-signing this, but we've called this out for years, that this is the agenda. You know, it's all part of the transhumanism agenda. They want to get rid of people. They want to get rid of influencers, celebrities, because, again, celebrities, they don't get pregnant. They don't go to jail. They don't get shot and die. So if we can start normalizing AI artists, that's what they want to do. Even in, Japan, China, they have those hologram artists that are very, very popular. Let me see here. I'm trying to see if there's like a news article. Timbaland's artist. Trying to see the news. It's mainly been indie people covering it. Timbaland is a clown for this. I'm so disappointed. It's not necessarily on the news yet. Okay, we'll just watch. I don't know whose video this is. This is somebody named Charm Insider. So this is their video. So they've done a video and we're going to watch this real quick here. Let me pull it up real quick. Okay. This is Tata.
Talking about the future of music, literally. Imagine a world where AI-generated artists become more popular than human musicians. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, it's not entirely impossible thanks to Timbaland, the legendary producer who's just launched his own AI entertainment company called Stage Zero. At the heart of this innovation is an AI artist named Tata, which was created in collaboration with the generative AI platform Suno. According to co-founder Zaid Portillo, Tata's voice first appeared during a Suno generation that caught Timbaland's ear. It was like nothing he had ever heard before. The process of creating Tata is quite fascinating. Timbaland and Portillo upload their demos to the platform, where Suno takes them in new directions. The human touch comes next as they insert lyrics written by themselves or other writers. This collaborative approach allows for a unique sound that blends both human creativity and AI innovation.
And what's so creepy is look how real Tata looks. Tata looks like a pretty little Asian girl that I could see walking down the streets of New York. She looks like a total New Yorker with the pink hair. So anyhow, people are going in on Timbaland on social media. And so him and Swiss Beats, they're trying to defend themselves. They're so full of shit. They're both so full of shit. So let's watch this video here. Give me just a second. Let me hit refresh. Can y'all hear? Because I'm getting that message again saying that. Okay, y'all can't hear it. Okay, because I just got the pop-up. StreamYard is still trash. And I even paid. I paid for this session. So they're still... Let me try it again. I'm sorry. Let me stop screen share and reconnect it. And this is why I went to OBS. Because I don't have these issues with OBS. Let me try it again. Okay. Let me refresh it and start over.
Respect to everybody here.
Hey, John, I respect you, bro. I respect. Hey, look, the reason I brought you here because your post is crazy. No, no, no. He didn't. We got it.
I mean it.
We got it. All right, we gonna stand on it in the chat.
I mean everything about it, bro. There's no. I'm not double backing on it. Respect to your legacy, I would say. What I view this as right now is a betrayal to artists everywhere, bro. What you're doing is you're backdooring us. You got into a position of power, and instead of choosing to unionize and fight against this AI, which I'm not stupid. I use ChatGPT to script out screenplays, things like that. I use ChatGPT on a daily to think of content ideas, to do the menial tasks, the meaningless tasks that a robot should do. I'm a spiritual person, and I believe that artists all are tapped into a divine entity, right? When you go and you start creating and you allow some fucking robot to come in and what's up? Hey, respect to everybody here. Hey, John, to come in and finish your song, you're cutting yourself off from the divine. And let me not even get that deep with it. What I think you're doing is you're doing something that's in a sense demonic, bro. And I know it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but it feels.
Talk about it. What do I always tell y'all? There are spirits in the machine. These are ancient spirits coming back. There's nothing new under the sun. I'm glad he's calling them out. This is demonic. You're taking the human form out of it. How much more power are we going to give computers and AI? Look at Google Veo. You can't even tell the difference now between that, what's real and what's fake. Oh, I'm glad he's calling them out. And then watch his demons get irritated. Watch.
Feels demonic. You're choosing to go against us all and put this robot, instead of signing an artist, instead of having someone who has a voice that you could put on and put on your platform. All these motherfuckers you had on the live, all this cool shit you were doing, you choose to go in this direction.
John, D
to come in and finish your song.
So Timbaland's new AI record label, Stage Zero, will combine human input and an AI to create a new genre of music. The reason why Timbaland doesn't care, because he's a gatekeeper. These people are gatekeepers. Once they get to a certain position, they pull up the ladder. They don't want nobody else coming behind them. So let's see what Swiss Beats has to say. Hopefully this plays. No sound? Okay. Yeah, it's time for me to get up off of here because StreamYard is getting on my nerves. Yeah. It keeps losing the audio. I don't know why it's doing that. That's just, StreamYard is trash. Let me pull it up again. Because I want y'all to hear what Swiss Beats, the gaslighting he's trying to do. All right, we're going to try it again, child. Let me refresh the page. Hold on. Let's see.
That means sold out. No, we sold in. We sold in. You understand? We don't sell out. I ain't never sell out in a day in my life. Sell out for what? We who we really are. Tim is really Tim. I'm really me. Y'all really y'all. Sell out for who? It ain't enough money to sell out. My kids look at me every day with respect. Imagine selling out and going to your kid's graduation, and I don't even know how to do it. We sold in to an idea of a company that raised 1.9 billion versus didn't have an evaluation because we gave it to the people for free. Now y'all want to flip on us because y'all not educated and understanding why we went to Triller on that evaluation, which gave us an evaluation to give.
He's gaslighting. He's a mushmouth gaslighter. Because he could have kept Versus in the community. Versus was supposed to be like a feel-good thing. When it first started out, it was just random producers going back and forth, random rappers going back and forth. It wasn't about the money, the Ciroc bottles in the background. It wasn't about any of that. It was just supposed to be genuine fun. They ran to find a way to monetize it. So stop talking about, oh, we didn't sell out, we sold in. He's a gaslighter.
Give all of the 40-some artists ownership in that company and Triller as an evaluation. These are well thought out plans. These are not freestyles. And me that, oh, you sold something, expect them to understand what we're doing. And so that's the only thing that I would critique is that we could have communicated this a little better, Tim, to the people, because that's a hell of an announcement. When I seen the people hit me, I'm like, God damn, I ain't speaking to Tim about this. I ain't, Tim is he is on.
Courtney ain't tell you.
I would have gave him a couple of different things to go about it.
I'm surprised Courtney ain't call you.
Okay, so anyways, let me get them off my screen because they're annoying me. Now, my thing is this with this whole, and again, there's nothing wrong with using AI. There's nothing wrong with talking or using Chat GPT and, playing around. But I do find it to be an issue when musicians are literally saying, because wasn't Vic Mensa crying the other day? I ran across a video of Vic Mensa crying. Let me see if I can find it. Like, artists are not making money. You have these artists who are out here crying because they can't sell tickets. Nobody's coming to their shows. People are struggling right now. So why would you then in turn take more money out of the artists' mouths? Let me see if I can find it. Because this video went viral. Is this the one? He's like crying and all this other stuff. Let's see if I can find it on here. Okay, yeah, this one. He's talking about mental health of the industry. Let me stop screen sharing and try it again. I think this is the video. Fingers crossed. Hopefully y'all can hear. Let them know TV.
The mental health of artists, the streaming era is created.
Okay, this is the video.
An artist in a time when work is so devalued.
The music industry and the rise of streaming has brought on musicians. Let's check it out.
Broke down in the shower, thinking about the weight of being an artist in a time when work is so devalued and depreciated. The impact on the mental health of artists, the streaming era is creating. I remember I saw James Blake.
This is a grown man crying. Remember I said earlier in the stream, let's normalize black men being able to cry and express their feelings. There's no shame in that. He is an artist who respects his work. He loves his work. He loves what he does. But he's even saying the streaming era is killing us. It's taking a toll on my mental health. And you have, goofy ass Timbaland signing an AI artist. Why are you not signing real people who have real bills, who have real children and real mouths to feed? That it does not make any sense. So let's finish listening to Vic.
As Blake was launching that platform Vault, where he was having artists put their catalogs unreleased up, and I saw a comment on it that was like, why would I pay $10 to one artist when I could pay $10 for all artists ever? And at the time I was like, that's so fried of a mentality, but like today it kind of hit me like how impacts the mental health of artists. People feel like that shit not worth $10. You know what I'm saying? It's heartbreaking, but it's hilarious at the same time. Like, not worth $10. Artists are already people that are predisposed to suicide.
No, let me stop you right there. Who was that? Tara Hill. She said he's crying over money as well. Tara, and this is no shade. Do not block her, mods. She didn't say anything bad. It's not about him crying about money, but that's his livelihood. That's his job. He's a rapper, right? It'd be no different than regular people getting laid off of their 9 to 5 who are crying on TikTok. We're all crying about money. A lot of, even for us as influencers, our money's not money like it was a few months ago. That's why I say you got to save, you got to stack up, you got to have multiple hustles. Everybody has bills to pay. So he has the right to say, look, my art, how I get paid, what I do for a living is being devalued. And I'm not making money off of streaming. To me, his tears are genuine. He's not a big artist like that. He's not an artist that's made millions and millions of dollars off the industry. He's not a Drake. Like if this was Drake crying, I'd be like, sir, you've been in the game 15 years. You've stacked up more than enough money. Vic Mensa has never popped like that. So he has every right to be sensitive and be upset and to cry about his money. Because again, if somebody played with your money at work or cut your hours, let's say you went from working 40 hours a week and your boss comes in and says, hey, we can't afford anymore to pay you 40 hours a week because we're going through stuff with the company. We had to put you on part-time. Well, your bills can't take part-time money because your mortgage or your rent is a certain amount, your car note, insurance, you know what I mean? So let's give a little bit of grace. And like I said, I'm not trying to come at you crazy or nothing like that. Let's just give a little bit of grace because he's not like a A-list rapper who's making all this money. He's asking to be compensated fairly, and he's saying that this is having an effect on his mental health. A lot of people are going through it right now. The average man and woman. People are waking up every day and finding out, hey, I'm locked out of my computer. We just got laid off. In my Telegraph group, I just found out that one of my telegraphers, they just got laid off from their job. My family member who was laid off 2 months ago, they still haven't found a job. So, people have the right to be upset and to cry when their money's being played with, especially when they're just making art. He's not an artist that's getting into trouble and getting arrested and harassing, black women. So we're gonna go ahead and finish listening to what he has to say, sis. Okay, I just wanted to point that out. I didn't want, because you may not know who Vic Mensa is, but he's not like a big A-list super rich artist.
Suicide. Like, that's just not funny, but that's real. To add into that a dimension of economic inequity so profound that not even the record labels know what to do about this. Like, they don't even know how to get the money right now. I was just feeling this way today, and I felt like if I'm feeling this way, and I'm blessed to have touched millions of people with my art, I have a wonderful life. If I'm feeling this way, then I know there are many smaller artists, and larger, dealing with the same things, man.
Okay, I'm gonna be real. I ate too much acid that day. I'll be emotional as hell. I'll be honest. I'm emotional.
You don't have to come back and gaslight. Just say you were sad. It's okay to have real feelings. You don't have to lie and say that you ate acid, weirdo. I was crying because I ate acid. That's not a good cover. It's okay to say that you were crying because you were actually emotional and you're passionate about your art and that you're speaking out for smaller artists. That's how it should be. Bigger artists, people who have a bigger platform should be speaking out for the little guys. I could be sitting here all day, every day, showing off my tits and shaking my ass and just making influencer content and teaching y'all how to do hair and makeup. But I make content that resonates with regular men and women who are going through it. I want people to be aware about what's going on in America, what's going on in the job force, what the average person is going through. So I think it's okay for him to do that. He shouldn't have tried to switch it up because he got clowned by the internet. Now he wanted to come back, talk like he was doing acid. But folks are saying that he's on the Shy. I don't watch the Shy, so that's good for him that he's on the Shy. I don't watch the Shy, unfortunately. I think my youngest son watches it. I just haven't gotten into it. Don't judge me. You know what I just found out? Y'all about to clown me. So I was on Netflix like 2 weeks ago, and they had Twilight on there. And I was like, hey, I remember Twilight. Wasn't that about vampires or some shit? I never watched it, though. I was busy being a mother. This came out years ago. Why did I think Twilight was a TV show? So I'm like, okay, I'm about to binge watch Twilight. And I go on there and it says 1 episode, 2 hours. I said, 1 episode? What was the rest of the episodes? I didn't realize Twilight was movies. Don't judge me. I had no idea that these were movies. I thought it was a TV series. But I did watch the very first episode. I got to know Bella and I forget Edward. The Edward vampire, very handsome, very pale. So I'm in my Twilight bag. I never knew this, y'all. Don't judge me. I thought it was a TV show like Game of Thrones. So I'm like, oh, what season of Twilight should I watch? I'm like, damn, it's 4 movies. So I finished the first movie. I'm going to watch the rest. And then I told my son, he was like, what? I was like, I really thought it was a TV show. Because I remember it was really popular back in like 2008. But, again, I was breastfeeding and shit. I didn't have no time to pay attention to no damn Twilight. It was raising children and changing Pampers. But I thought this whole time it was a TV series. That shit said one movie, 2 hours long. But it was good, though. I enjoyed it. It was really good, so I want to watch the rest. It was really good. Somebody said I'm being judged. Well, feel free to judge me, damn it. At least I'm honest. I had no idea. I really thought it was a TV show like Game of Thrones. I'm like, I'm about to binge watch Twilight. And it was like, yeah, no, you're not. It's a movie. Go get some popcorn. But it was good, though. Oh, True Blood was the TV series. Oh, so maybe that's what I had mixed up. Because wasn't True Blood about vampires as well? Now I know Twilight Zone. I know that was a TV series. Okay, so maybe is that what that was? Because I've never seen True Blood either. Because I remember like back then, that's when vampires and werewolves and stuff were really popular, like in the early 2000s. And I remember people being like Team Edward, Team Bella. I remember that. I remember the young people saying that. So True Blood was the TV show. Okay, so maybe I had those two mixed up. Because I thought it was Twilight. And I was shooketh when I went to watch the TV show and it was a damn movie. I said, what in the hell? What the hell? So I'm gonna have to look up True Blood. And I want to see that. Because I never watched that either. But I did like the Twilight movie. I thought it was, Twilight. Not the Twilight Zone, but the Twilight movies with the vampires and I think, werewolves, or is it just all vampires? I think werewolves come on later on in the series or something. I only watched the first movie. I haven't watched the rest yet. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. Okay, so True Blood was a good series. Okay. I might have to check that out then. Vampire Diaries. See, there was a bunch of I remember there was like a bunch of vampire werewolf shows like in the early 2000s. So Vampire Diaries is another good one. Okay, I might have to check that out. I have watched some Supernatural. That came out a long time ago. I tried to binge watch it, but I fell off the bandwagon. But my favorite episode of Supernatural was about Ghost in the Machine, about how energy travels through computers. I don't know if y'all ever saw that episode, but that was a very good, I put it in one of my deep dives. How like the spirits in the machines were just causing chaos in that episode. Like they put a lot of truth into like TV shows and movies. They really do. So yeah, Supernatural was like really, that was a pretty good series, but I didn't get to finish it. I need to go back and binge watch it. So True Blood had everything: wolves, vampires, fairies, and shapeshifters. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to check it out. That is so funny. I be having so much stuff I have to check out. I heard The Shy was good, and I met what's his name, Jacob Lattimore. And when I met him, he was like, "I'm on The Shy," and I'm like, "You're handsome, anyways." I don't. Sorry, I've never watched it, but he was really nice. He was really nice. Well, I'm gonna have to be binge watching some of these shows. Then I'm gonna definitely have to get into them. Which team am I on? I don't know because I've only watched one movie. Yeah, I've only watched one movie. I gotta watch a few more before I can decide what team I'm gonna be on. So True Blood. Okay, I'm gonna have to look up True Blood. Now I did finish From. I don't know if I ever told y'all that. I binge watched From. From is crazy. I cannot wait until I think season 4. From was insane. I really enjoyed binge watching that show. And Siren will forever be one of my favorite shows that I binge watched like a few years ago about mermaids. I love. If you have not seen Siren, that was like one of my favorite shows to binge watch. So I do need to find some more. No, I was talking about the young man from The Shy. Ain't his name Jacob Lattimore? And he played in The Shy, if I'm not mistaken. He's like a singer. Yeah, him. Let me show y'all. I met him before. I don't be embarrassed about shit because I don't have enough sense to be embarrassed. But he's really nice. He's on The Shy. Hold on. Why is this not showing? Hold on. Him. This is the Jacob I'm talking about. Not Jacob from the Twilight. I met him in Atlanta one day. We was at some restaurant just eating dinner. He's really cool. So he came and sat. Damn. What is this doing? Hold on. So he came and sat next to me. And so we were all sitting there chopping it up. Sheree was there and everything. But he's really nice. So I didn't know who he was. And he was like, "Oh, have you ever seen The Shy?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "I'm on The Shy." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's cute." But he's really nice. So he was telling me when I met him, he's like, "You need to watch me on The Shy." I'm sorry, Jacob, if you see this, I still have not watched The Shy. I know I should be embarrassed because he told me this like 4 years ago. But yeah, that's the Jacob I'm talking about. He's on The Shy. Yeah. So he was telling me at that time that he was on The Shy, but I hadn't watched it. So that's funny that y'all are telling me that Vic Mensa's on The Shy because I still have not watched it. And Jacob told me to watch it like literally several years ago, and I met him in Atlanta. He's like, "You gotta watch me." So I don't know if he's still on there. I'm not sure. Somebody said, "T, that was in 2017, child." I don't know. I don't know, child. I'm just telling y'all, I met him. He told me he was on The Shy and that I needed to check him out. So now I need to put The Shy on my binge watch list now. Okay. No, he's a really nice guy. Very handsome. He can sing. He has a lot of talents. He's playing in the latest Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That is funny. I know. Look. Hold up. Who said that? Random Linda said she's always meeting somebody. I am. Like, I be meeting people. Because I've been in the most random places. And I meet people. I try to get into American Gods, Ivy. I think I watched like one episode and it was just so slow. I need to get back into it because everybody tells me I need to watch it. It kind of like starts off like Game of Thrones, and I think that's how I should have treated it because Game of Thrones initially, like that first episode was kind of slow, and then I turned it off. Like, I can't stand all this olden English language, but then I had to like mentally like turn off everything, shut the blinds, no laptop, no phone, just sit and watch Game of Thrones. And then by like the second episode, I was hooked. So I might need to do that with American Gods. Because people tell me all the time that I need to watch it. But I watched the one episode and I couldn't get into it. I don't know why. Yeah, Siren is on Hulu. Mm-hmm. Not T talking about Siren on Netflix with Julianne Moore. No, it's a Hulu series. It was filmed on Freeform, like the station was Freeform, and then Hulu bought them out. But I need them to give me closure. I need to know what the hell happened to Ren. I need to know what happened to her daughter. Like, I need closure. Like, Siren they just ended. And then they said they was going to bring back season 4, and we've been literally waiting since 2020. But it's that's probably one of the best mermaid shows I've ever watched. You're hooked from the first episode. Siren is really, really good. Really good. Yeah, no, it's not on Netflix. It's only on Hulu or Freeform. So, Sheena, you seen it too? Yeah, it's really, really good. The later season of The Shy are not as good, but Jacob was great. Okay. That's what's up. Where in the world is Ren? That's what I want to know. I want to know what happened to them Russian mermaids. It's so much stuff in Siren that was just left. They just never came back and finished it. But that's a good series, and From is a really good series. If you like, things that have mystery and, but I'm going to get into True Blood because True Blood sounds really exciting. So I want to get into that. Have I ever watched Charmed? Back in the day, I don't remember too much of it. I remember Shannon Doherty, Alyssa Milano, but I wasn't like a big Charm girl. The Shy is more positive. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Also, American Gods just ended, so so then I can binge watch it now that they really stopped it. Yeah, I do need to find a new show to binge watch. So far I've been binge watching Baddies. Don't judge me. I'm trying to see what the hell they're doing in Africa. And of course, they did not disappoint. All they're doing is fighting. How y'all fighting and the dancers are dancing at the same time? They're over here knocking out the damn African dancers and stuff. Like, Baddies is just a mess. I thought they was going to get together for Baddies Africa. I don't know why I thought any different. First episode, second, I'm on the third episode. All they're doing is fighting. The big three and Big Lex. She whooped Scotty's ass for no reason. Just doot, doot, doot. Scotty sounded like she was about to cry. But Scotty, she's gotten a lot tougher over the seasons. It's just a mess. I'll be trying to keep it with so much stuff just so I can be in the loop of everything. And I know they're trending right now. But Baddies Africa is just, I hope they end up doing more. I hope they just didn't go to Africa to fight. I should watch Mormon Wives. I've never heard of Mormon Wives. I watched the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. That's probably the closest to Mormon Wives I've gotten to is that. That show was a trip. But yeah, I definitely do. I think I'm gonna get into True Blood. I'm gonna look at what is that on? Is that on I don't think it's on Netflix. I'm gonna have to search it up. But I do want to watch the rest of the Twilight series because the first movie was really good. I cannot believe that I did not know that they were movies. I really thought it was a TV show. P-Valley is good. I watched P-Valley the first season. And then I don't think I have Stars no more. I think that's why I fell off. Because wasn't it on Stars? I did watch the first full season. It was really good. I did watch Supercell. I watched like the first 3 episodes of Supercell. I thought that was pretty good. I had to get back into it. So I did see Supercell. I haven't seen Yellow Jackets. I always see the advertising for it, but I haven't seen it. Okay, so it's on Hulu and HBO. Okay. Handmaid's Tale. I watched the first season and then I fell off. And now I want to go back and pick it up because of everything that's going on, like with the administration, because I keep seeing people leaving comments saying that it's reminding them of The Handmaid's Tale. But I did watch the first full season, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I just don't know. Blessed be the fruit. I'm like, what? Like, they just kept saying that. It was getting on my nerves. Blessed be the fruit. The Lord is with thee. Some shit they kept saying, child. I was like, okay, I'm not going to watch a season 2. I checked out. I will watch stuff and then be like, okay, I watched it, and then I would just tune out. And then I'd be like, I'm going to go back to watching it, and then I end up watching or binge watching a whole nother series. Yeah, may the Lord open. Yeah, blessed be the fruit. May the Lord open. They kept saying that. I'm like, what in the world? What is Yellow Jackets about? I always see like the artwork. Now I heard Stranger Things is back. I'm definitely I have to check that out. Now I've watched every season of Stranger Things. That is my show. But I heard it's weird because they're like, these kids are now like 25 or some shit. Like, they're grown now, you know. 11's no longer that little girl. The Last Witch Hunter. I haven't seen that. That's what I heard. I've been seeing on social media that Stranger Things is back. I don't know if it's out yet, but I know they're saying it's coming back soon. But I'm a big Stranger Things fan. So y'all are saying that P-Valley's over? Okay, let me read these super chats here. Keita sent $100. Thank you so much, Keita, for the super chat, sis. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight has been a wonderful stream, you guys. I'm glad y'all stayed up with me. I've been on here for 2.5 hours. Let me read a few more, and then I'm going to log out. I know it's getting late. It's already 10 o'clock. Damn. But New York don't sleep. Shit, them lights are still on. I'm still hearing sirens. It be so loud out here. Let me see here. Verbal Beauty 18 says, thank you for this. Artists do matter. Not everyone is meant to be in a cubicle pushing papers. Creativity is a career too. Definitely. I definitely agree. I think Timbaland is really all the way wrong for that. I think he should be using his platform to put on artists. So I think it's sad that he's doing the total opposite. Let's see here. Vampire Diaries and the originals. Okay. I have to check that out. APS says, good morning, Queen T from Bangkok. I'm on my way to work now. I got to watch the playback. Thank you so much for tapping in. I hope you have a good day at work. So thank you for the super chat. Let's see here. I think I got everybody. Kishma says, after Vampire Diaries, what originals is a spinoff? You will really enjoy it. It takes place in New Orleans. Okay. I'm going to have to check out this Vampire Diaries and True Blood. They sound good. So thank you for that information. Valerie says, another good show to binge is The Magicians. I haven't heard of that. I have not heard of that. And then Veronica says Superstition is a great show. All right, so y'all done gave me a whole little list, child. Somebody said Jamie Foxx is crying. Why is he crying? Let's Google. Y'all know as soon as I see something about to Google it real quick. Let me see. Jamie Foxx crying. 2 days ago. Jamie Foxx doesn't think he'll ever stop crying over his daughter's medical crisis. Oh, I don't know. That sounds like that's something old. I don't think that was today. Oh, he's at the BET Awards crying? What the hell is he crying for at the BET Awards? Let me see. See if I can find it. Damn, Twitter want to act funny. Let me put in Jamie Foxx. I want to see why he's crying. Is he crying about what's going on in LA? Oh, he is crying. Oh, what's wrong, Jamie? Oh, it looks like he's crying because of his tribute. Well, we can't play the music, but let me, here, I'm gonna show y'all. He's crying. I think he's crying because of the tribute is what people are saying. So let me see. All right, this is the video. I'm gonna mute the music. Okay, Jennifer Hudson is singing to him. Okay. You can tell she's singing her heart out. Okay. This was the other video I seen of him. Hold on. When I first pulled it up. This is the one. Over here. He's crying right here. Okay. It just seems like saying that he's getting emotional during this tribute. Okay. He deserves to get his flowers. I'm not mad. He's been in the game for years. Looks like his daughter's crying too. Hold on. Is this a speech? Let's see.
But I don't know why I went through what I went through.
Oh, okay.
But I know my second chance I'm not going to turn down. I'm not going to turn down. I have so much love to give. I told him, I said, man, bro, just give me one more crack at this. And I promise, I said, whatever reason you put this on me, I promise I'm gonna do right. When I saw that memorial.
Okay. That's why he's crying. I'm still trying to figure out, like, what happened to him again? Because I know he did the comedy special and I watched it. Like, did he have a stroke? Like, I don't know. Like, what happened to him? I forgot, child. I don't know. Y'all can tell. Somebody said Diddy's what happened to him. Y'all. I'm not fucking with y'all. He had a stroke, right? Okay, that's what I thought. Somebody said Diddy happened to him. Y'all are messy. Okay. Common people were saying he was cloned and all types of stuff. So he had a stroke. So you gotta check. He got a second chance at life. He deserved to be happy. I'm glad. I'm glad he's okay, and I'm glad he got a second chance. And, you know, again, let's normalize men, you know, being emotional. Nothing wrong with that. I'm glad he's okay. Did you ever watch This Is Us? It made me cry. This Is Us. Let me Google. It sounds familiar, but then it don't sound familiar. So let me. Is it a TV show? Oh, no, I've never seen this a day in my life. It came out in 2016. Yeah, I've never seen that. I've never even heard of it. But thank you for the super chat. But y'all, I've been on here for almost 3 hours. This has been a great stream. I'm loving it. I had a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream as well. So thank y'all for just tapping in with me and spending time with me here, making my night go by faster. So I'll try and do a stream again probably tomorrow night. So I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. You guys have a good night. Love you guys. Be safe out there. You know, it's a lot going on with these riots, just a lot going on in the world. So like I always say, stay prayed up, be safe. I'll talk to y'all later. Good night, everyone.